Hello, Resident Gaming here. How's everyone doing? If you would have asked me that on the first day of school, I'd say pretty bad, because when school started up, I had some pretty terrible luck. Now, you're all thinking, were all my classes bad? Well, not really. I mean, I actually liked all my classes, but my first day back from school was a bit of a disaster. I'm in college, so I actually get to pick the classes that go with my degree, and I get to choose what teachers I like. This semester I was taking it easy with about 15 credit hours, which is about average, but those 15 credit hours come from about 4 classes. So I have them spread out a bit to give me a bit of an easier time and also have a couple of days off. That way I'm not overloading myself with school. So to start us out, I don't actually have class until 11 a.m., so I got up nice and late around 10 and got ready for the day. Drove over to campus, which actually doesn't take that long, which is why I woke up so late. And when I got there, I found out the parking lot was filled. I mean, it was probably the time of day it was, because a lot of people tend to take earlier classes, it seems like. But a lot of people had also been getting ready to leave, so it didn't take me too long. It only took me probably about 5 minutes to find a spot, but I was a little worried at first. So, my luck's not sounding too bad yet, but it's all about to go downhill. So I parked my car, walked to the building, and still had about 15 minutes before class started. And so I decided to look around at all the new faces, given it's the fall semester. So you had people coming from high school, and you also had people coming back from their year break, because they wanted a little bit of a gap year between college and high school. And the funny thing is, shortly after I actually got to campus, I did see a familiar face, an underclassman from high school who I had a class with my senior year, and talked to fairly frequently in that class. So I decided to say hi to him, catch up a little, but I only had about 15 minutes before class, so after about 10 minutes of talking, I shortly left to go to my class. Now I get to class early because I want to see if there's anyone there I know, which I actually don't know anyone there, so I just pick a seat in the back of the class and sit quietly until the teacher comes in. Shortly after she comes in, and we go over the syllabus for the first 30 minutes of class, being the first day of classes starting. I didn't expect to do too much. I was just ready to go home after that, or really just wait because I also had another class afterwards. But the teacher made sure to utilize all the time we had. And so spent the next 2 hours learning about microeconomics. And if you don't know anything about microeconomics, well, it's pretty boring. I mean, it's mostly because I had to get a humanities course filled out, so I'm like, okay, I'll just do this because nothing looked too terribly interesting, and I guess this one's sort of helpful. Now, I was fairly hungry after class because, of course, I'd been sitting there for about 2 hours, bored to tears, and also I hadn't eaten anything yet today. So I decided to go to the cafeteria and get some food. I got a quesadilla and some fries, which I was looking forward to. And after getting my food, I sat down next to my friend who I had mentioned earlier and talked to him for a bit while eating my food. Now this is where things start to go bad. I wasn't paying much attention, and I was eating my fries, and I didn't realize how hot they were. And so when I put one in my mouth, I burnt the roof of my mouth pretty badly. And I'm not going to spare you the gruesome details. This was really bad to the point where I actually peeled off some skin, and it was disgusting, and it was really bothersome. Still, even as I'm recording this, which is about 2-3 days later, it still is bothering me. So after that painful experience, I gave my food a little more time to cool down before eating again, and so I just talked to my friend for a bit until he had to go to class. So while I'm eating my food alone now, because it's gotten a little bit of time to cool off, I saw another friendly face. It was my friend Christian, actually. And apparently he just finished up his class, and he was just waiting for a friend. So we ended up talking about Warframe a little and what our school load's like for the semester, and both our loads are pretty light, so it's pretty good. Being a light eater I am, I gave the third little slice of the quesadilla to my friend, and he thanked me, saying that now he didn't have to pay for lunch today. So he starts eating it as we continue to talk. And after his friend's finally ready, after 10 years of waiting, we say goodbye, and I head up to Calculus 2. Now, I'd actually been looking forward to Calculus 2, and I know what you're thinking, excited for a fairly high-level math class. Am I crazy? No, it's actually because I've been looking forward to the class due to the teacher teaching it. I had him for pre-calculus, and so I knew how he taught, and I really liked it. I got a very good grade in the class, so I was really excited for this year. Now don't worry, this part has a good ending. Like I said before, it's exactly what I was expecting. Teacher came in, talked to us for a bit, like before we read off the syllabus, and syllabus took a little bit longer because not only was there a syllabus, but there's also a few other things he wanted to talk about, and we just talked to him for a bit, got to know him, and he let us out probably about 15 minutes early. So it was a pretty good day, and I really enjoyed that class. But of course, our luck's gonna go downhill again. And I know what you're probably thinking, you know what, I've already gone through 2 classes today, and so I'm pretty much done with school, which I only had those 2 classes. So how else was my luck bad aside from that one incident? Well, let's go to when I got home. And when I got home, dinner was already ready, so I painfully ate dinner. I'm not saying the dinner was bad, but like I said before, I'd burnt the roof of my mouth, so things were pretty hard for me to eat that were solid. So after I ate my dinner, I took a quick shower, jumped onto Discord and talked to some friends, and I didn't really expect anything else to go wrong today, so we're talking about all hanging out tonight, and it took a little bit of time, so I decided to play some CSGO and write the script for my last video. And I was just waiting for him to decide on a plan. Eventually we decided to hang out at my house and play some Wii Sports, the classic from the original Wii. And you know what, just hang out. Now we all get together at my house. I have to dig out the Wii, which takes a while, because the basement is a complete mess and a pain to navigate through. After getting everything upstairs, we run into a problem. The Wii sensor cable that, it's supposed to detect the Wii remote's motion, had actually been stretched out and pulling apart. So essentially we have half the sensor, another half the sensor. Well, not the sensor, but the cord to the sensor. And so we're just like, well, our plan to play Wii Sports is completely blown. Because our friend Brian, who also brought his Wii U, apparently doesn't know where the sensor is, which is a problem. And no one really wants to go and get a new one, because no one wants to go home and grab theirs, until our friend Billy decides to be the hero of the day and get his from home. And so, while Billy leaves, I decide to go upstairs and write the script to my last video. So after finishing up the script to my video, I decide to record the narration because I still have a little bit more time before Billy comes back, and also I want to make sure I'm being fairly productive. And it took a few attempts. I kept messing up because I was rushing myself. It's been a while since I've actually read from a script. And now I don't correct every little mistake, but if I felt like it was, close to the beginning of the recording, or maybe, I messed up so bad and started rambling on too much and got way too off topic, to, delete the part and continue trying to read through it again. So I decided to edit a little bit more, making sure you didn't watch an 8-minute video on the audio and then have another 40 minutes of gameplay, which was just empty and just soundless, because you guys came more for the audio than the actual gameplay. I'd just throw in the gameplay there to add a bit more of interest, that way you're not seeing me flail my arms about and ramble on like some idiot, like usual. So after I cut the clip, that way you're not watching that, empty 40 minutes of video, I decided to render the video and then go downstairs to see what my friends are doing. When I went downstairs, I had already set up the Wii and started playing some Wii bowling, so I ended up joining in, and we didn't really play too long. We played Wii bowling at first, which I destroyed them in. Then we played some Wii baseball, which me and Eric were on a team against Billy and Joseph, and me and Eric won. And then we decided to play some boxing, and I won that. So yeah, I destroyed in every event, because I'm that good. No, it's just because I remembered a whole bunch of the old, tactics I used to use back when I actually did play Wii Sports a lot. And it was pretty fun, but like I said before, we didn't really stay playing the game too terribly long, so we all ended up walking upstairs and playing some Mortal Kombat XL. After getting upstairs, I noticed the video had finally rendered, so I decided to upload it to YouTube and go back to playing Mortal Kombat after adding the description and writing a million different tags, because I want to make sure it gets noticed if someone had those tags. But of course all the tags are relevant. I'm not just typing in random words like hashtag YOLO swag. I'm not typing in everything random to be, you know, tackle or whatever. But anyways, go back to playing Mortal Kombat, do somewhat decent. I don't win every game, but I win a few, and I had a lot of fun. And so after the video finished uploading, my friend Billy asked to play some Overwatch, and I'm like, okay, I didn't really see a problem with it, because the video had finished uploading, and so I didn't think anything too terrible would happen. This is where I'm wrong. So he's only been playing Overwatch for literally 20 minutes, and the screen randomly goes black, and my computer turned off. And he also said he could smell something burning, which is a very big problem. So I checked to see if the power's working. The computer is not turning on. And so I'm like, okay, the power's completely shot. I was scared that something else was going to be completely shot, so I just unplugged it completely, took it downstairs, and opened it up. Damages did not seem too terribly bad. From what I could confirm, the power supply I knew was shot completely, but everything else did not look out of place, or, you know what, it wasn't on fire, so I took that as a good sign. Graphics card, though, was a little bit hotter than usual, but I wasn't too terribly worried. I just figured, you know what, the power supply's shot, I may be out like 50 or 100 bucks, but that's alright, because it could be a lot worse. And so after putting the case back on, or the little panel, whatever, I decided to go back upstairs and see how my friends are doing. So I returned upstairs to see how everyone was doing, and I was a little bummed out because, of course, my computer's not working right now, and so I'm just like, okay, I have nothing else to do tonight, so I'm just going to go lay down after seeing how everyone's doing. So once I get in bed and lay down, I decided to look up the video I was fairly proud of because, like I said before, I spent some time working on editing it a little bit, and I was pretty proud of what I produced. But when I opened up the video, I saw it was 45 minutes. And now, I know I talk on a lot, but I don't think my video was 45 minutes. As I said before, I thought, you know what, edit it to be 8 minutes. And so I look at the video. Apparently, the part that had been cut off was most of the audio. Most of, you know, the Red Dead clip, sorry. I'm not going to re-edit that. You know what, you guys can laugh at me now. But I just noticed, I'm like, okay, so this video starts halfway into my little clip. It's 43 minutes long. Can I edit this down? Well, no, because like I said before, my computer is completely shot. So I decided to just take the video off YouTube and then say, you know what, I'm ready for this day to be over. Laid down and went to sleep. I was just completely done with the day. So guys, that was the story of the misfortune that struck me on the first day back at school. I know it's not too terribly bad, but it still really sucked because, like I said before, power supply was shot, burnt the roof of my mouth, and, you know, I also have to get that Wii sensor thing fixed, which, you know, won't take too terribly long, and at the point of uploading this video, I had already replaced, you know, the power supply, or else it'd be kind of hard for me to really record the audio for this, or the video at all. So yeah, everything is fixed now, aside from that whole Wii sensor, which, like I said before, won't take too long. And I already re-uploaded the other video after editing it. Apparently, everything had been fine in the video. I pulled up the project again, and everything is as I thought it was. So I'm trying to figure out how I got, you know, a 48-minute video out of it, but not too worried. So everything's good now. And you know what? I hope to upload some more content for you guys and read from scripts more, because I had a lot of fun with the video. You know what? I was very proud of the work I did, and I think that I worked fairly hard on it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe for more content. I hope to see you guys next time.